All praise to a creator and nobody else who is, of course, spirit, energy, and not a man or a woman. So let's go ahead and get acquainted some praise before I start these lessons. Praise the Creator. So I'm hoping that this lesson will help you see. So there are many people who trust the King James and other books, you know, but the thing you have to realize, these fallen ones, man, these fallen ones is the ones, we're going to get to it in a minute, is the ones who...
What if we could go back to the beginning?
Hold on 1 second.
Right, guys, what's going on? My name is Luis. Today
the fallen ones are the one who tricked y'all with that. But matter of fact, before I get to that, because I'm going to get to that in a minute, we got loud booms, right?
It's February 9, 2022, and welcome to the Grand Supreme News Channel. Before I start, guys, give this video a big thumbs up and share this video. We got some breaking news updates coming out of South New Jersey. Now, it says here, mysterious boom and rumblings in South New Jersey. All right, so we have tons of information on this one.
Mysterious booms. And the booms is because your government is still digging tunnels for themselves to hide from the coming doom. See, they serve a devil, and they know this devil comes to collect, which is why he ain't supposed to make no deal with the devil. They call him Mr. L, Mr. G, Mr. J, and many other names. He got a whole lot of names. He's called by many names. All names folks called is nothing but the devil. And your government's been dealing with them for a long time.
This week in our series of reports on UFOs, we learned a number of things. That not everybody who sees a UFO is crazy, that our government has lied about UFO information, that it's withheld UFO files, and even spied on UFO witnesses. We've also heard from scientists who say life elsewhere in the universe is virtually a certainty. And we heard that a majority of Americans believe that UFOs are real and come from space. Tonight, in part 5 of his report, George Knapp introduces us to a local man with an amazing and disturbing story. George.
Gary and Mary Ruth, we've been working on this story for a long time, and we'll tell you right up front that it's going to be hard to swallow at first. This week, we've heard the contention of UFO researchers that there's a secret government within our government. While that may be hard to believe coming from the UFO perspective, we've certainly learned in Watergate and the Iran-Contra scandal that factions within our government can and do pursue their own hidden agendas outside of the law, outside the control of Congress, or the knowledge of the American people. This is exactly the type of operation we'll hear about tonight. It's a chilling scenario with worldwide implications that may have its roots right here. Area 51, that mysterious corner of the Nevada test site, is no longer much of a secret. The fact that secretive things go on here is a given, even to the Soviets, who make daily spy flights over the facility to take a peek at what's going on. These photos, never before shown in public, are about as close as anyone will ever come to seeing what the place looks like again. The dry bed of Groom Lake, corrugated metal buildings, a 3-mile-long runway, and some highly sophisticated radar and detection equipment. It's been known by many names over the years: Dreamland, the Ranch, the Skunk Works. If ever there was a place to test a secret new technology, this is it. And that's exactly what's been done here for decades. Area 51 is where Francis Gary Powers and the other U-2 pilots were trained in the 50s, and where the U-2 itself was developed. The SR-71 spy planes that spotted Soviet missiles in Cuba in the early 60s were also developed at 51. 51 is where stealth technology was nurtured, where Star Wars devices are still tested, and where all manner of CIA monkey business has been plotted and refined. It's the perfect place for secret things, but of course, that's no secret. 51 is ringed by the forbidden vastness of the Nevada test site, by the looming Groom Mountains, and by sparsely populated desert expanses. The few people who do live out here have no love lost for the military, but they're conservative, patriotic, and they mind their own business. You ever see stuff you can't explain?
Sure. Lots of stuff.
Care to elaborate?
No.
On any given night at the Rachel Bar and Grill, you might find 3 or 4 people who work at Area 51, there amid the flowing Budweisers and cowboy hats. You might find them, but they aren't going to talk to you, not about the things they've seen over the mountains. A steady trickle of curiosity seekers flows through here, strangers drawn by strange stories of lights in the night sky. Their questions also go unanswered. No one who's worked at Dreamland has ever publicly acknowledged what so many people have suspected for years, that alien technology is being tested in the Nevada desert. The speculation first surfaced in documents obtained by UFO researchers, documents about something called Project Aquarius. The documents, allegedly prepared for an organization called MJ-12, state that a program to fly recovered alien spacecraft was established in 1972 and is continuing in Nevada. The National Security Agency has confirmed it does have a Project Aquarius, but denies it has anything to do with flying saucers. NSA will not say what Project Aquarius is. Speculation was heightened in 1984 when the Air Force seized nearly 90,000 acres around Groom Lake. The action was, by most accounts, illegal. During congressional hearings about the land.
If anybody want that video, I'll be sure to save it. In case anybody wants that video. But Common Sense will tell you that they've been dealing with these demons for a long time now. They got this 6G coming out, which is an alien technology, a Draco demon technology, a tall white demon technology, all those things, Nephilim technology on Earth. 6G, which is 6 ground, low energy, to sit up there and mess with people. Let's go.
At Speedway, we know a fresh start to your day needs a fresh cup of coffee. So we've got fresh coffee all day long.
It's happening secretly and nobody's watching. Okay, so the dimensional technologies are about to launch upon civilization, and we'll talk about that towards the ending point of this video. But however, we need to talk about this other scenario that is being set up, and some intel about the Ottawa pretty much top head police chief. We're about to get into that. What's going on, worst ever?
The doubles got them messing with the truckers, right? And they gonna put this 6G technology to try to bother them too, right? Right. Okay, and then the Simpsons, of course, keep telling you
The
stuff.
Simpsons have made a number of scary predictions over the years, and many of these predictions have ended up coming true. Seeing this, many people have come to believe that the makers of The Simpsons possess psychic powers, or that they are writing the future as a result of this phenomena. In addition to this, some people even think that there is a possibility that Matt Groening, the creator of The Simpsons, is a time traveler. With that being said, what do The Simpsons believe will happen in the coming year? What are their predictions about 2022? So, buckle your seatbelts, everyone. It's possible that 2022 may be another dreadful year, with everything from World War III to a deadly robot takeover. Hey, welcome back to Clusher. In this video, I'm going to talk about the top terrifying Simpsons predictions for 2022, including the prediction of World War III. Before moving further, kindly like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell icon so that you do not miss our upcoming videos. So, let's get started. The robot takeover. Starting off with the prediction, we have the robot takeover. At this time, you all know that artificial intelligence is playing an increasingly important role in our lives. However, it's insane how many smartwatches, speakers, and refrigerators we have. Moreover, scientists have developed a number of superintelligent robots, like the robot police dog. Currently, some police departments are experimenting with the use of robotic dogs in their operations. To give you an example, just last month, the New York Police Department was spotted using one, and it was met with widespread condemnation. Another firm created a child robot that is learning by interacting with humans and observing their behaviors. It records this information and then copies it back to the company that created it. On top of that, hospitals are experimenting with the use of surgery robots to assist in the procedure. And, highlighting the dangers of artificial intelligence and robots, The Simpsons had a number of episodes that have predicted a robot takeover. One of these was the episode named Itchy and Scratchy Linen, which aired for season 6. Moreover, in this episode, enormous animatronic robots go haywire and cause widespread devastation on the planet. They essentially transform into...
That ain't the only prediction they made in that. Why would they make that prediction? Because the Draco reptilians is one of the guys who write the scripts to that, and the devil always got to tell you what he gonna do. So we got technology. Well, technology is in a you-know-what they want y'all to take. Hold on, let's go right here.
The origins of things, then put two and two together. Guys are pretty simple, pretty, at least y'all think outside the box, is what I'm saying. So think outside the box. Now we talking about what? Okay, we're talking about HIV. And one of the other important pieces that I can't put that clip in here because it's probably garnered too much attention, but it was something as it related to cancer and things like that they were finding, something about the depletion of T cells or whatnot. That's all I'm gonna say on that. But what they've been indicating is that they don't know how long your system will be down before it regenerates, if it regenerates. Okay, that's something that like the doctor was saying is that it has to be studied. They have to find out how long your system will be down, or if it will ever regenerate. You know what my thoughts are on that? I don't know, but I'm leaning toward probably. I'm just saying. So anyhow, I also wanted y'all to see kind of like why the video kept getting pushed back or whatnot. So I just put this little image up so you can see like literally the video has taken 10 hours to render. Okay, and it didn't exactly come out like I want. Like I don't really like the audio. I don't. So I might end up having to scratch that and redo it. I might have to, guys, but we'll see. I'm gonna get somebody else's opinion when it finishes processing, and if it's cool, then we'll rock with it. All right. There were some women walking around that had zombie-like behavior. There's some things that has occurred. Some things that have occurred that will indicate that it's a possibility. Now, if we go back to I Am Legend, remember in I Am Legend, okay? Now, I might play that clip in this video just because, okay? Just to give y'all a glimpse of what I'm talking about.
All right, let me tell you about your God's plan. 6 billion people on Earth when the infection hit. KV had a 90% kill rate. That's 5.4 billion people dead, crashed and bled out dead. That's a 1% immunity. It left 12 million healthy people like you, me, and Ethan. The other 588 million turned into your dark seekers. And then they got hungry and they killed and fed on everybody. Everybody. Every single person that you or I has ever known is dead. Dead. There is no God. There is no God. What is that? Was it still dark when you brought us home last night?
We were bleeding. There was light on the horizon.
Turn the light off. Turn it off.
see how in the movie he was talking about it was like 6.4 billion people when the infection hit or whatnot, right? That got infected, less of 1% immunity. So like 6.4 people, he said, from the infection, they died. Okay, they died from the infection. 6.4 billion, or it was like, I think it was 6.4 billion. I don't know. I probably played the clip, or you probably see it anyway. But then there was like, I think he said 1 million or something people that were immune, or 1%. And then it was like 500,000, he said, something like that, that turned into dark seekers. Okay, they turned into dark seekers based off of something that was in the antidote that they gave out, right? So the dark seekers, they turned around, basically turned into like zombies. And they fed on everybody that was immune, that didn't die from the infection. Which we understand the infection actually comes from the, okay? So, we already know the CDC has the thing about the zombie apocalypse, right? So, what does that mean? I don't know. The zombie apocalypse, it could just be a bunch of mess, just some stuff that could be blowing smoke. Or it could be some significance to that, guys. It could be. What if the zombie apocalypse, like I said, we don't know what they're gonna do afterwards. After the people that have, had the issues, they succumb to the, So yeah, like I said, so after the people, like what we're seeing, guys, and this is the crazy thing that I pointed out before, is that they're seeing that more people are, are dying. Okay, a lot more people are dying. But this is happening to people long after they did what they did. You know what I mean when I say did what they did? When they made that fateful decision to take a chance. Okay? So these people later on, months and months down the line, is what they finding out, is what the coroners is reporting and everything, is that these people are dying later. Okay, a lot of people are dying later. What does this mean? Well, if these people are dying later, and based off of what we know is that a certain amount of people that they want to die, there's going to be people left, right? And what I showed you a couple of videos ago was how they had brought these monkeys over. Okay, they supposed to be going to where? Okay, the CDC or whatnot, and they studying them, whatever. And some of them got out. They supposed to be some very dangerous monkeys because they carry some, some similar stuff to what we're dealing with now, but supposedly worse. All right. Now, why would they be studying that? I don't know. But in the movies, what we do recall is that in those movies, those monkeys either carried a fatal illness that would knock off a lot of people, or they turned, when they bit people and whatnot, they turned into zombies. Okay? So, we a lot of stuff we talking about right now, we've been dealing with just one issue. We haven't been talking about the future and what that might hold and what they may be doing next, right? So, if things go that way, which I don't know, I'm just speculating, we would be dealing with something similar, okay? Something similar. I don't know what. I don't know if these people would we go psycho or whatnot. I don't know. But based off of the movies and what we seeing them trying to do, like, we got to get 2 steps ahead. And 2 steps ahead could mean, hey, just pay attention. Pay attention to what they're doing, like what isn't being talked about.
A lot isn't being talked about on purpose. If anybody want this video, I'll keep it for 2 days, just in case. So, and here's the sad thing. Right? Now, you should know that the fallen ones, let's go, right let's go right here. We're going to go, boom. The fallen ones is the ones who ultimately had something to do with the Bible being the way it is. And the people who served them, so he could obviously trick them to get them to do or to write what he wanted in that book. When you're talking about Adam, the only Adam, physical Adam, okay, that was made was the one that came out of them caves to cause the trouble. See, that Genesis story wasn't about us, it was about them. That's a trick. Now, if you want to get to the scientific part, which actually where the creator would be at, is as far as the creator, what? Not created atoms, but what? Expanded oneself, because energy cannot be destroyed or created. So he expanded oneself, and then what? It was energy, and energy can we create something solid, okay? And a solid would be a atom. Your body is made of atoms, but atoms are not solid. Atoms are still liquid that appears as solid. You see? Which could make an avatar. But see, most people don't get it because they don't understand the deepness of the creator. When you deal with the creator, you got to go extra deep. When you deal with the devil, everything's playing in your face. And a lot of y'all have taken the devil's crap to face value. Let me show you this devil. Tall white alien race. These are the demons that your local government deals with. These are the demons that they take orders from. These are the prejudiced ones who don't like black people, or anybody for that matter. These are the ones that made the Draco. And they beef with the Draco because the Draco wants to be on top, although they made treaties because they could not rule. Bam, that's right, without that. Now, we show you some pictures, right? You see this? Bam. This Draco, or this tall white, was on Earth. They can actually walk amongst you. Here's a picture of a real tall white that was on Earth and was in movies. That's right. That's right. Get another picture of her. She was in movies. She's a tall white. That's right. That's right. And what y'all don't understand is that the government been taking orders from these tall whites. All right, they are demons, and they can walk amongst you. I'm not saying, now listen, you can't mix the regular white folks with the tall whites. They got deceived too. These are the same ones, tall whites, that told you to hate the white man and got the white man hating you. The tall whites. These are demons that shapeshift, that can look like them, but are actually fallen ones that can shapeshift to what? Lizard people. Mr. J and all those names you call on. You call on the tall whites. Now, let's back up some. Because we're going to get to this. Look at. Now, let's get to it. Here's Mr. E. That's right. One of the devils that y'all keep calling on. That's right. Reptilian Draco demon who likes to eat people and drink their blood. These are also things that your silly government is working with. You have all types of grays. Okay? You have all types of these Draco demons. Whoa, they try to go all the way in, huh? Then you got their long tube ships that they keep trying to say is rocks because their ships look like stone rocks and they are long. Okay, these Dracos. That's right, the Nephilim giant Satan ship. They can look like a person. They are demons. They put them in cartoons so that you won't think about it. I won't even guess. The fact is, these things walk amongst you. These things are the warrior race of the tall whites. That's right. And they had a hand to do with remixing that Bible, but you still trust them, right? And you trust the King James, you don't research nothing. That's a problem. That is a major problem. Because if you take every book for face value instead of researching everything you read with a dictionary, a laptop, and having more than one web search page and really digging deep, then you will be deceived because you have not than the proper research. I don't need this one. That can go away. But look at here, look at there. Now Biden is a Draco. Yeah, you didn't know. Biden and a lot of your other presidents for other countries are Dracos. That's right. But see, you trust the same people. These Dracos had a hand in messing with the King James Version Bible. But look what the Dracos are doing. Did you get a loan? Did you get your house mortgage totally taken off and forgiven? Oh man, did you get 40 acres and a mule from the Biden Draco administration? No? Okay, well that's tough. What about did you get anything from what you call him? Oh my goodness. What's that guy with the glasses that's pushing the you know what? You get anything from him besides that? Hopefully you didn't get that from him at least. No, y'all didn't get none of that? Oh wow. What about the fact that this country is so great because our people have built this country? Used to be a black house. Did you know that? They burnt it and we ended up building the White House. Did you know that? Huh? But that's okay though. They don't really care about you because look, these Dracos want you to get all cracked out. The Biden administration on Wednesday pushed back on what is called manifestation. I don't know what the hell that's supposed to say. A federal grant program meant to reduce harm to drug users, right? Does not include taxpayers founded for pipes that can be used to smoke crack. And you trust these motherfuckers. There's an article on it. If you want it, I'll hold on to it. They don't want to give you money. They don't want to give you the country back. They don't even want to forgive your loan, your mortgage on a house. No, they don't want to do none of that. You ain't got 40 acres in the mule, but they'll put a $1 trillion bill together so that people all over the world can have crack pipes to smoke crack in. Think about that. But these are some of the same people, these Dracos that pretend to be something that they not, because they shape it to look like a white people when they are lizard people. All right, that's right, white people. You thought you had a president, you got a lizard for a president. Tricked y'all too. Hey, see, I ain't prejudiced because I know that the enemy of my enemy is my friend. Come on, man, you got to get a clue, y'all. It's time to wake up. If you don't unite, everybody's gonna fall. Okay, yes. The Gentile and everybody will end up serving us because they're going to realize how much lies they were told and how deep of the doo-doo they in, such as the Dracos. Who was the dragon slayers? We were. We're going to go back to that. That's right, because we are the saviors. But most of y'all don't realize that. We are the messiahs. We got to do it together. You can't be a messiah by yourself. There is no one son. That's bullshit, okay? It's plain and simple. So either you're going to get it together, you're going to realize that these things had everything to do, had their hands in every part of religion, all over the world, every single book, and mostly the Bibles, okay? But they put some truth in there, backwards facts as well, and a whole lot of motherfucking lies in them books. And the only way you can get to it if you do the research. But you trust these Dracos who want to give you crack pipes, who manipulated your Bible, particularly the King James Bible. So maybe you should think about that. This is why I tell you need to do the research. You need to do the research. And then these guys are getting all mad because look, the sun is destroying what's going on. The sun is destroying what's going on.
It's time. Everybody needs to go. We need to get 1,000 people there, or 800, or whatever it is, to demand that these truckers be shut down. Well, and they didn't get shut down.
Yeah, the Dracos demand the truckers get shut down because they can't get what they want. They also talking about an EMP blast. That's right, EMP blast that's happening. And it's not by the people, it's by the sun. Oh, snap. And it actually have thunderstorms, which could totally rip away the atmosphere of what you call Earth. That's right. Which means that there wouldn't be any water hardly, and the place would look almost like the moon before it started having life on it again. That's right. Think about that. But see, even Paul Bogley doesn't know everything because Paul Bogley, unfortunately, has a song about zombies. Oh, you didn't know?
Are you serious? Are you? No. Are
let
you
the Son of Our
seriously
Zombies come
serious?
on. Watch this.
Everybody just calm down and get some coffee and just relax. Because I'm telling you right now, it's crazy. We're live. Are you serious? Oh, my Lord have mercy. It's so good to see everybody here. Welcome to the Coming Apocalypse. I'm Pastor Paul Begley. And it's getting crazy out there, guys. It really is. What a great broadcast we're going to have right here. I mean, some tremendous information I have for you. Marshall Masters is going to give you a 10 minutes on the pole shifts, on what's causing them and what will... And it really, I'm telling you.
What's causing them is the Nephilim giant ships up there in that solar system they done brought with them that's going to end up colliding and mixing with our solar system, which is all these mixing. And our planet's going to crash together. And a new heaven and earth will be made.
He'll explain for you the 3 different types of pole shifts, but really the effects of Planet X. Also, Mr. MBB333 is going to tell you a little bit about what's going on right now, what's very concerning on the sun. And matter of fact, there's an article just came out today that the scientists are extremely concerned. I want to thank my good buddy Delane for getting that information to me this morning. But wow, everybody's getting nervous, and everybody should, Purvis. Don't get nervous, Purvis, especially Justin Trudeau. No, Justin Trudeau. Anyway, the Canadian truckers are going to keep on keeping on, it looks like. And the wheels are starting to come off the mandates. Why? Because the political pressure that it's not working the way they want it to is starting to get applied. And you're starting to see it everywhere. It's global. But more importantly, let's talk about what's going on in Bible prophecy and how it relates to current events. First of all, let's put a shout out right now, if we could, for www.ketowithpaul.com. That's www.ketowithpaul.com. Yep, I've tried everything to manage my weight with no success. I've been up, down, and then back up. Nothing seems to work. I tried all the workout routines, the diets, the fads. I was beginning to lose hope. But a friend told me about a special Kato Powder by BioTrust. This stuff is amazing. What I experienced after just a few days of taking it was nothing short of a miracle. You see, Kato with Paul, Somebody out of Alabama shared this with me this morning in a text, and I did a little research, and he was dead on. Scientists are very concerned. Let's go to the lead story right here, right now, if I can find it. There it is. Okay. Boom. So ancient solar storms have smashed the Earth at the wrong part of the sun's cycle. An ancient solar storm smashed the Earth at the wrong part of a sun cycle, and scientists are very concerned, and here's why. An extremely powerful solar storm hit the Earth, they estimate 9,200 years ago, leaving a permanent scar on the ice buried deep below Greenland and Antarctica. Now, a new study of those ancient ice samples has found that this previously unknown storm is one of the strongest outbursts of solar weather ever detected and would have crippled today's modern communication systems if it had hit Earth today. This is big. I'm going to tell you why. Because it probably was during one of the close approaches by Planet X. But perhaps most surprising about this massive storm was it hit during a solar minimum. The point during the sun's 11-year cycle when solar outbursts are typically much less common. According to the study, because of this unexpected discovery, the study researchers are concerned, and they should be, that devastating solar storms could hit even when they're not expected to. If the Earth is being affected in some way, the Earth might not be prepared when the next big one arrives, folks. This enormous storms are currently not sufficiently included in risk assessments. Yeah, they are. Just you haven't shared it with the public. The effects of Planet X is happening as we speak. There is no question that the Earth is taking on some tremendous effects from this. The sun is affected first, and that's affecting us. The sun is just absolutely went bonkers. I mean, we're supposed to have been in an 11-year cycle, 11-year solar minimum, but within 18 months we came out of it. Did we? Or are we still in that minimum? But Planet X, the effects of Planet X is putting so much pressure. And this is what the Bible says, that men will begin to be scorched, and they will gnaw their tongues for pain, and they still won't repent. And you know, I was just thinking about it. I see so many things here lately, politically. I've been watching, I've seen people just absolutely realizing that some of the stuff that's been going on is just overreach. And they're being called out now. I mean, even kids were getting the Eagle Scouts in this one school. A bunch of Eagle Scouts got together and they took all the masks and stuff. I mean, people are starting to push back in a lot of different directions, and it's going on around the world. But while this is happening, politicians are still never admitting they're wrong, or like in Justin Trudeau's case, telling the truckers and the public they're wrong, basically demanding people to do what he says. I thought he was about freedom. I thought he was about the people.
No, because he's a Draco too. These reptilians ain't about freedom. They want everybody in slavery. I mean, everybody. They'll do whatever they can. They pull no punches.
See, now he's been backed in a corner, and he doesn't know how to be a leader and say, I hear what you're saying. The mayor of Ottawa has even said, hey, I hear what you're saying. We're going to make some changes, at least here in the city of Ottawa. But the whole country is still under, of course, a different situation with the Prime Minister. We'll talk about that in a minute. I want to go back to the solar issue here, because the solar issue is completely out of control. Matter of fact, I want to bring in Mr. MBB333, and he's going to tell you about the sun storms, the spanning millions of kilometers, that today is going to impact Venus, and then it will hit the Earth. I was just talking to my wife Heidi on the phone. She was getting ready to get on a plane, and we were talking about this story right here, and she said, yeah, and I'm going to get in a plane. I'm going to be up there again getting the brunt of the radiation. Because, you know, when you get in a plane and when you're flying up there, you get way more radiation on you than when you're on the ground. She goes, so I guess I'm going to have to fly up there among the radiation right during a solar storm. Well, let's let Mr. MBB333 help us understand this, okay? For about 3 or 4 minutes.
Night. They're just allowing a little bit of wiggle room here, so to speak, because it could arrive a little sooner, and then again, you know, it may be a little later. Sometimes these things can be unpredictable. But anyway, coronal mass ejections are large expulsions of plasma and magnetic field from the sun's corona. And this is an article from India Today talking about the recent solar activity, article dated February 8th of 2022. Just a week after the Earth was impacted by a moderate geomagnetic storm, the sun once again hurled a powerful eruption towards the planet. As activities continue to rise from the solar surface, the sun emitted a filament on the 9th and 10th, triggering yet another geomagnetic storm. And there was a large filament eruption right here. I wanted to show you guys that occurred literally just a few hours ago. This has been hanging off of the southeastern limb of the sun for 4, maybe 5 days now. These things are aesthetically attractive to guys that have the solar telescopes with the proper equipment that photograph the sun from down here on planet Earth. Here's the large feature that's been down here again for several days. It just detached right there. See it?
Gee!
That is not Earth directed. If it were Earth directed, it would probably create a pretty significant solar storm, geomagnetic storm down here on Earth, but that is not Earth directed. That's going to steer to the left of the Earth. That would go more in the direction of, I'll show you guys, over this way, towards Stereo A. And Stereo A does work. That's one of the 2 stereo spacecrafts that are still active. I use Stereo A, in fact, a lot. But if there's nothing to report, at least, anything that's significant, I'm not going to report on it. But if there are significant things happening with the sun, I'll let you guys know, as I've been doing this for a long time. I'm not the oracle of knowledge by any means, but I do have a lot of experience, I will say that. What causes radio blackouts? And I wanted to touch base on this article, I think it was here, yeah. Solar storm hits the Earth, causes radio blackouts in Russia, and they emphasize Russia for a reason, and I'll show you guys why. Okay, what causes radio blackouts from CMEs that are produced by solar flares? And here we go. It's basically the cloud itself that's interacting with the Earth and the energy of Earth, magnetic shields, the ionosphere. When that energy, sometimes it arrives, in the form of a shock wave, which you're looking at here, is a simulation of the ionosphere interacting with a storm. This is back in January. It's one that I had on my desktop. But this is when the CME, the energy from the CME, sometimes it reacts, the ionosphere reacts almost instantaneously. And it's basically the protons and charged particles from the CME. This is what causes the radio blackouts, primarily, and I'll show you guys why, primarily in the high and sometimes down in the lower latitudes, just depending on the strength of the storm and the protons and how many there are and the thickness with regard to density. But see this down here, the color lit up, that's telling you that there's going to be interference in any type of radio transmissions, not only in the southern hemisphere, but the northern hemisphere as well, which would include parts of northern Russia. That's where the term radio blackout comes from, and it originates from these types of storms that interact with the Earth that do come from the sun. And a lot of times the Earth will react, at least the ionosphere will react almost instantly following a strong Earth-directed solar flare / CME. And this one here lasted a long time. This was a long duration event, and you can see the color up here. That's telling you that the Earth is being enveloped in protons, basically from the CME. And
so, Mr. MBB333 will be one of our speakers in the climate crisis webinar that's going to be taking place on March the 11th and 12th. March 11th is the 11th year anniversary since the great Fukushima earthquake of 3/11/11, in which 26,000 people were killed. The tsunami came inland 6 miles. It left 6 nuclear reactors melting down and shook Tokyo for over 6 minutes. And that was really a historical day, to say the least. I mean, it was just an incredible event. I'll never forget it. And wow, how time is flying. We're going to be celebrating our 12th anniversary
now they
online.
Know that when everything hits the fan, what's going to be happening. It's going to be happening. They already know what's going on, and the Dracos ain't going to tell you nothing. None of these guys ain't going to tell you nothing. Why would they tell you something so you can get a clue? No. But these are the same folks who had something to do with messing with that King James Bible. Your ancestors had something to do with it. Your kings and queens and the high priests who were always evil had their own agenda, had something to do with it. But the devil was the first high priest. Mr. J, the devil was the first high priest. And I read that to y'all a while back. High priest is not a good thing, okay? And they did things they weren't supposed to do. Our ancestors did what they weren't supposed to do, but so did the outside nations that they weren't supposed to do. But it all comes down to the fact that the demons, the fallen ones, the tall whites, the Dracos, and all these Nephilim giants are the same people that not only outside nations sit up there at one point took an oath to, but our own ancestors did. They talking about his glory. The glory is the spaceship, the Nephilim giant spaceship, the E spaceship, reptilian snake king spaceship, that is. So what you need to do is the same that I've been telling you all along. Research every single thing you read. Research every single word. Find out where it comes from. Get a big Webster dictionary, them big old red ones. Get a laptop. Get yourself a whole bunch of different research pages. Get deep. Hit some libraries up. Buy a whole bunch of older books. You got to dig deep or you will always be deceived. I don't sit up there and speak riddles. I don't sit up there and tell lies. I give you cold hard facts. The fact is most people can't handle the cold hard facts because the fact is the truth sounds crazy and the truth is crazier than nonfiction because the truth is reality and most folks have not dealt with any reality since the day they were born because the whole world was deceived. And I'm trying to get people to realize this and wake up. These are reasons why you need to do research. Ain't nobody gonna teach you nothing if you don't do the research. And the devil definitely don't want you to figure out any of these books, but you gotta get them and you still gotta do the research. Reading the book ain't good enough. You must get a dictionary. You must get a laptop. You must get a computer. You must have more than at least 5 or 6 web search pages. Sometimes you got to go down dark places to get the truth. Everything is not in that book. The tip of the iceberg, coded maybe in there, but that ain't telling you nothing. And think about it. After everything I just told you and showed you, guess what? I ain't showed you but a little bit of tip of the iceberg. If I really took you down a rabbit hole, you'd be surprised. And this is why when I get all new people that watch my videos, I tell them you need to watch all my old channels and any channels that I still have, and every single video that's on this channel you watching now. Go way back and start from the beginning, because this is the only way, the easiest way for you to catch up. And trust me, when I tell you the same thing, I'm gonna tell you the same thing other folks told me. Hey, when I first started watching the channel, a lot of folks say this to me. You told me to what? Go watch all your videos. And I went back and started watching all your channels and all your videos. And I've been learning, and still to this day, I'm still learning. And these people that's been watching my channel for a long time could actually be better teachers than 95% of teachers out there. The cold hard facts is 95% of these proud teachers out there and some of the famous names that people love to follow and know about have no business teaching. They bit way too much more off than they can chew. They have no clue and they're misleading y'all. Cold hard facts. People can get on the camps all they want, get on the churches all they want. But some of these people are making the same mistakes that they making because they ain't doing the research. And I beg you, please do the research. Please, I want you to. Why I want you to? Because when you do the research, you're gonna find out that damn Mr. News only been telling me the tip of the iceberg. Even when he brought me real deep, he ain't told me everything. You know why I don't tell you everything? I want you to research it because it's scary. And when you find out how much deep it is, you're going to be in denial for a while. I'm going to tell you right now, you are going to feel like being in denial for a while. You might even take a month off this truth because it's going to drive you almost crazy. But you're better off facing it than denying it. Peace and love.